Happy Winter Solstice. It's a Frugal Vegans with a look at the best value mince pie out there presently. So we're looking at a few supermarkets. We are limited, of course, with COVID situation into which supermarkets we can look at. However, there's probably a lot of similarity out there depending upon what is on offer. So let's have a look to begin with at Aldi's. Now, if you're into your cheap mince pies, then do drop a like and a subscribe. So Aldi's mince pie comes in at £1.35 for 4. So we're going to have a little table, a little chart here. They're already number 1 because they're obviously the first, but that's not a thing, is it? So these are the vegan and gluten-free. These are all going to be gluten-free mince pies as well. So vegan and gluten-free mince pies. So I've already chopped this one. It's got a snowflake motif on it, as have all the pies I'll be looking at, almost as if they're all made in the same place. So let's have a go. Well, the filling is very nice, very fruity, not too strong, and but it's really the pastry that lets it down. This is a problem with a lot of the gluten-free pastries that are coming out with these commercial kind of pies. So what I'd say is that we're going to score everything out of 5. So for the pastry, this is a 1 out of 5. I'm assuming you can do worse than this, by the way. I think that is possible, like if you don't know how to bake. But the actual filling is more like a 3 or a 4 out of 5. But overall, combined, that brings it to 2.5 out of 5. So not a great score from Aldi's Foodie Market mince pies. This is the Foodie Market as well. It's assuming that we're all foodies, and to me, I don't think that's really worth it. This costs £1.35. So let's put them to the side again. Back on the substitute bench. Who have we got next? Well, we've got Morrisons mince pies. So here we are, Morrisons mince pies. I don't know if you can see those. I'll get it out in a minute. Here's the packaging. It's not as good as the Aldi, funnily enough, but it is quite bright and lively. Like, ooh, vegan, gluten-free, vegan dinner kind of thing. 220 grams for the price of £1.75, and that is on discount. Christ my bike. And Morrisons, what are you even doing? You're supposed to be the cheap supermarket, but £1.75, and that's 25p off. That's with a discount, and that's because they obviously realise they got the price wrong, looking at all the other supermarkets that have priced it a lot lower down. So I'm a bit disappointed with the price. I mean, a bit, massively disappointed. So my expectations are quite high on what this pie is going to be like. So chopping it, it was quite a neat chop really, so you can see that. Lovely, lovely. So we're going to have a taste and we'll see what it's like. Yeah, I think maybe it's a bit better than the Aldi's. I'm not sure now. It's a bit better than the Aldi's. So it's all for the same reasons. I think the fruit is not quite as good though. I think there's a bit of dryness in the fruit. There's certainly some dryness in the pastry, just like the Aldi's. But it's a little bit better pastry, a little bit less good with regards to fruit in the centre. So it's a difficult one, this. If we're going off value, then if we're going off taste, I would put it there above the Aldi. But when you take into account the price, it's got to go down below, because I don't think you get the uplift in flavour really compared to the price. Sorry Morrisons, but you're at the bottom of the tree. So yeah, same design, same snowflake design, they look the same. All these pies present the same way, pretty much. except for, actually, maybe they're actually the same pie, and I'm just having the pie variation in the tastes, because there's going to be a natural variation between pies. Now this one is the Tesco mince pie. It's got exactly the same design on, but it's got a different kind of sugar, whereas that is proper solid sugar on both the Aldi and the Morrisons. This is more like a powdery kind of sugar, so you get, the problem with it is you get kind of powder on your fingers, so if you're not a big fan of powder on fingers, that might be a bit of a negative to you, but we're not caring about that. We're thinking purely on taste today, so let's have a go and see what it's like. Right, okay. I've already tasted this before today, just a few minutes ago. So what I should say, from that tasting just then, there was a bit less fruit. So I think the fruit distribution in the middle could have been a bit off. Now this, I'm gonna say that's into pie variability, something like that. I don't think that's a problem, because the fruit overall is very good. I think it's probably similar to the Aldi, perhaps, yeah, let's call it similar to the Aldi, so very good fruits, you know, 4 out of 5. And the pastry is what really shines for this mince pie, because it's got, there's a softness to it because there's more moisture in the pastry, which is what I like. I don't like a pie to be falling into pieces and crumbling all over the shop. So for me, this is making the pastry more like a 3 out of 5, something like that. It's still gluten-free style pastry, don't get me wrong, but it's much better than either Aldi or Morrisons, and the fruit is good as well. So that makes Tesco number 1. I didn't talk about price, did I? Price of Tesco is £1.40. That's only 5p more than your Aldi, which is you know, ridiculous for the better value. I don't know whether I got a maybe I got a decent box, but I really think the pastry is very different with the Tesco compared to the Aldi or Morrisons, definitely. So these may have all been made in one factory, but there's definitely a super different recipe for the Tesco's, and that much I'm certain about. Not as certain about the Morrisons and the Aldi, which may well be very similar recipe-wise. So overall, I'd say if you're wanting a gluten-free and vegan mince pie, which unfortunately at the moment is exactly the same thing, ridiculous, true, but true, you're going to be going to Tesco's if you follow my guidance on that, on what I've enjoyed about those mince pies. Obviously if you like a dry crumbly pie, then you'll be going to Aldi's, but you definitely will not be going to Morrisons because the price is quite frankly ridiculous. They need to reduce it right now because it's too freaking high. Okay, oh, didn't talk about the final choice, and I'll be doing a video on this later on. The final choice is to make your own mince pies, and I've never made a mince pie before in my life, so I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm assuming it's a lot better than this. The other thing is as well, it's not going to be a gluten-free mince pie because I don't think I've got that pastry. It's going to be vegan, and that gives it an advantage. Like, I'll show you a mince pie here. This is a just purely vegan mince pie, and it's amazing. It's amazing. They come in stars, but this is not one for the frugal vegans because it costs £3.59. I'm a mince pie fanatic. That is extortionate, but I don't drink, so I'm considering that the equivalent to buying a bottle of wine. You know what I'm saying? And it's got some alcohol in it as well. It's got a kick to that one. That's got a real fruity taste. But anyway, that one is actually Lottie Shaw's. I shouldn't be telling you this. That would be bottom of the table for price, but for flavour that would be number freaking 1. Anyway, I think I've talked enough about mince pies today. But if you've enjoyed that, drop a like and do subscribe and smash that bell to help us out. We're a brand new channel, so keep watching. We'll be getting more videos out on ideas for frugal vegan lifestyles, and maybe we'll even get some fitness in there. I really don't know where this is going. It's all up to what you get engaged with, what you enjoy. So your feedback is of the utmost value to me. So give me your comments on what you liked or disliked about this video. I know my head's not quite in shot, but we're playing to the conditions, unfortunately. And I need to get all of this in, you know. Anyway, it's a winter solstice today, so have a mighty fine day and enjoy it, and have a great season as well, because we need to have the best of possible Christmases, because that's what it's all about. Just relax, enjoy yourself, forget about work for a little while if you possibly can, unless of course you have some plastering on the cards. Oh no, that's what I gotta do now. But thank you very much for watching overall, and have a great day. Take care.